Regardless of how long you have been in the private investigations business, one key thing you should focus on is doing market research to help enhance your SEO, search engine optimization, and any advertising you may consider doing. Doing that market research can consist of many things, but you need to make sure you stay focused while doing the research. I know from experience that it is really easy to get distracted and end up focused on things you never intended to be focused on. When conducting market research, it is best to do it early in your business cycle, preferably even before you open your new PI business, but it can be very effective even if you have been in business for quite a while. You want to make sure you don't waste a lot of money doing this research too. Once you start working on your market research, you will undoubtedly start seeing ads for all kinds of tools and services that can help you along the way. My preference is to look for existing research that may already be out there. You see, in most instances in today's day and age, someone has already done the hard work for you, and to me that means I do not need to reinvent the wheel. For instance, if you are looking for keywords for private investigators, just go to Google and search keywords for private investigators. I did that, and this is what I came up with on the very first page. Private investigations, surveillance investigations, criminal investigations, background checks, law enforcement, fraud investigations, and criminal justice. This was right at the very top of the search results, and if I clicked on that page that provided these keywords for private investigators, I would have gotten even more keywords for private investigators. How simple is that? Now, if you want a simple way to protect your PI business, then check out this video's sponsor. This video is sponsored by OREP Insurance and Working PI Magazine. OREP is a leading provider of private investigator liability insurance. Visit orep.org for a quote today. Make sure when you're doing this research, you include researching your competitors too. Knowing what your competitors are focused on can bring much insight in your research efforts. Just Google private investigator and your city and see who is ranked up at the top of the page in the organic searches, which come after the ads and the map. But don't disregard the ads or the map, and we will discuss those opportunities in just a second. The organic search results show you who is doing the best job at focusing keywords and key content to make Google, or any search engine for that matter, list those sites at the top. Go onto those companies' websites and see what they are doing that may affect this. What keywords are they using? How are they using those keywords in the content? How much industry relevant content do they have? Pay attention to what they do not have on their websites too. Most PIs do not put their fees on their website, and this is good, sound advice. You see, if you put your fees on your website, well, the client no longer needs to call you to find out what an investigation costs. So they will then call your competitors, and the one who is able to close the sale is the one who gets the client. After conducting your market research and after review of that research, you can then start to make a plan of attack on how you will use the data you gained. You may need to do some creative writing for your content, the information on your website that includes those keywords you discovered. You might also want to look at the services you advertise and provide too. One mistake I see a lot of folks do, and I did this when I started as well, was to list everything under the sun in hopes clients would call me. The problem with that shotgun approach is that it dilutes the search engine algorithm and what services the search engine thinks you provide. Where if you stay focused on 2, 3, or 4 services, then it is easier for the search engines to understand your business better. I touched briefly on Google Ads and Maps a bit ago. Here is some quick advice for you regarding those two topics. Ignore advertising on Google as a PI. Based on what I have seen, Google does not allow ads anymore for PI firms. They do allow those sites like Bark and others to advertise, but not PIs directly. Google Maps, now that is another story. You want to get on Google Maps if possible. This is one of the most overlooked areas in the industry. Getting on the map section gets you listed well before your competitors. Go to my channel page and then go to my How to Run a PI Business playlist, and in there you will find several videos that talk about getting on Google Maps and other SEO training videos for PIs. This is also a good time to see if you need to consider some market penetration, and market penetration covers several factors. First is market appeal, and you can start that by working on that content on your website, but you can also enhance market appeal through other things such as pricing. Now, in the retail world, oftentimes market appeal is enhanced by lower prices, but is that a good thing for PI businesses? I am of the mindset that lower prices is not a market enhancer. In fact, if you are selling your PI services solely on being the cheapest PI around, you will quickly find that you attract the cheapest clients around. You can enhance market appeal by selling differently than your competitors. Most PIs are selling by the hour because most clients are shopping by the hour. But if you sell by the job, then you have now offered the client something no one else offers them. This is quite simple. Mr. Client, we can conduct surveillance for you this weekend and help you get those answers. Our surveillance would include Friday evening, Saturday afternoon and evening, as well as Sunday afternoon and evening, and that would run X dollars. The retainer for our surveillance would be all-inclusive and includes all surveillance time, travel time, mileage, report and video time, as well as case prep and research time. I know that is hard for a lot of newer PIs to do, to throw out a big number, but you can do it another way as well. Mr. Client, we can get started on that surveillance for you this weekend for X dollars and cover Friday evening. Based on our findings on Friday, we can then discuss if you want to do further surveillance. The retainer for our surveillance would be all-inclusive and includes surveillance time, travel time, mileage, report and video time, as well as case prep and research time. The downside to starting with a minimal amount is that it requires you to resell the job to the client after the initial stage, and this can appear as if you're always standing there with your hand out asking for more money. Where putting together a full investigation plan up front garners you more work and gives the client a bigger picture of what really may be required to get the job done. Other market penetration ideas are to look at the services you are not providing and can easily add them to your list of PI services. Some low-hanging fruit may be something like process serving. I know many PIs do not want to serve papers, and I get it. I am not the biggest fan of serving papers myself. But adding that to my list of services many years ago has led that into being another business line for me, which is a huge asset to be sure. You might also consider something like a mobile notary service, which can be easy to add on and adds value to your existing business. Some market penetration into other specialty areas would require additional training though, so don't be afraid to seek out that training for other specialty areas. One of the best areas for training is your state PI association. These organizations are also wonderful places for networking to and building those professional relationships. And those professional relationships can become partnerships over time. You need to make sure you foster those relationships and nurture them into long-term partnerships. I'm not talking about partnership businesses, but partnerships in business. Having a network of other PIs to refer work to that you don't do or you can't handle, as well for them to refer work for you that they don't do, is a real win-win for everyone. You might also want to extend your market reach too. Too many times I see PIs focused on working in a very small geographical area and they never pay attention to the greater market area around them. I did that a lot when I first started, but I quickly learned I could attract a lot of business from neighboring cities around me as well. No matter what you do, make sure you measure and refine your efforts as time goes by. Tracking what works and what does not work can go a long way in building your PI business. By the way, background checks are another great way to expand your PI business too, and if you would like to hear more about the top 10 primary background checks you might consider, then check out this video.